Buy today and the annual fee for the first year is on us. Call 1-800-AXP-GOLD or visit axpgold.com. The annual fee for the card is $175. See terms, conditions, and restrictions at axpgold.com.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN Digital Talk Radio, the original talkback with Chuck Wilder. Paul Stern up there in the hills near Hollywood taking those toll-free calls. Toll-free, I said. 1-800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225. We're live across America on this radio station or this cable system. And we've got a lineup today. Penny Nance, she is CEO of the Concerned Women of America. We're going to let her give us an election analysis of the conservative women's victories on last Tuesday. Also, Barb McKellen, author of Made in the USA. And he says how the trade deficit, the mortgage meltdown, the oil crunch, the credit collapse has led to the stock market fall and current downturn, and how we will quickly recover if the American consumer buys products and services that are made in the USA. Now, you just got to find them. That's the problem. Keith Davies, he is director of the Forum for the Middle East Understanding, FFMU, and the Walid Shubat Foundation. He's a public speaker on the topic of terrorism, and we're going to talk about Arizona's porous borders is an invitation for terrorists. And to wrap things up, one of our favorite people, Marcus Lloyd, spokesperson, entertainer of the Tea Party movement, Tea Party Express. He is president of NAACPC. That is the National Association for the Advancement of Conservative People of All Colors. He also writes for News with Views. We're going to talk about Harry Reid's cup of tea and Obama and the mainstream media inspiring some violence. Wait until you hear that one. Now then, after all this time, day 53, guess what? The BP's chairman, Carl-Henrik Sandburg, has been summoned to meet with the one, President Barack Obama, next Wednesday. So I got to figure this out. Let's see. So today, Friday, so that's 53. Let's see. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 plus 3 is 8. So it'll be 58 days after the disaster. He is coming to meet with the other company officials. But the White House did not demand to see BPO CEO Tony Hayward, who Obama has said he would fire if he could over flippant comments. The BP Deepwater Horizon spill now is the largest environmental disaster in our nation's history, said the letter to Sandberg from Tad Allen, Coast Guard Admiral, who's leading the U.S. government's response to the crisis. The potential devastation of the Gulf Coast, its economy, and its people require relentless efforts to stop the leak and contain the damage. Allen pointed out that the BP was financially responsible for all costs associated with the response to the disaster, including efforts to plug a ruptured undersea well and protecting the coastline from a massive oil slick. And today I saw where they're signing up, start making those claims for their retributions. Well, good news, that 16-year-old female sailor on a round-the-world journey was adrift in the frigid southern Indian Ocean today as rescue boats headed toward her yacht, damaged by 30-foot waves that knocked out her communications and prompted her to set off a distress signal. After a tense 20 hours of silence, the search plane, launched from Australia's west coast, made radio contact with Abby Sunderland today. The boat's mast was broken, ruining satellite phone reception, and was dragging with the sail in the ocean, and search coordinator Mick Kinley, acting chief of the Australian Maritime Safety Authority, that chartered a commercial jet for the search, quoted, "But the keel was intact, the yacht was not taking on water, and Abby was equipped for the conditions," he said. The aircraft crew spoke to her. They told her help was on the way. She sounded like she's in good health. She's going to hang in there until that vessel gets to her, probably tomorrow, he said. A lifelong sailor, Abby had begun her journey trying to be the youngest person to sail solo nonstop around the world and continue her trip after mechanical failures dashed that dream. I'm seeing a Reader's Digest Story right there. Abby told searchers today that she was doing fine with a space heater and at least 2 weeks' worth of food. And support team Jeff Casher said the boat had gotten knocked on its side several times. Tucson, an autopsy shows that Arizona cattle rancher killed 3 months ago on his property near the Mexican border suffered multiple gunshot wounds. The autopsy report was released in response to a public records request by the Arizona Daily Star. However, about half of the 5 pages are redacted because Cochise County authorities say these sections contain information known only to the killer and investigators. Robert Krantz was on his all-terrain vehicle checking water lines and fencing when he was shot March 27th on his 35,000-acre ranch northeast of Douglas. After the shooting, neighbors and law enforcement officials followed the tracks apparently belonging to the killer 20 miles south into Mexico. Cochise County authorities have said they believe the 58-year-old Krantz was slain by an illegal alien who was headed to Mexico and worked as a scout for drug smugglers. Authorities said the investigation is continuing and they won't identify any possible suspects. Well, Congress, doing that wonderful job for all of us. They have decided to take a long weekend, even though there's a very important bill that needs to be passed. Oh, wait a minute, it's not Obama's bill, it's not his health care bill, where they'll hang in Saturday and Sunday to make sure they ram that down our throats. Nope. Listen to this, and they're tired because they did have that long Memorial Day weekend, and then they came back. Okay, Congress headed home yesterday for a 4-day break after failing again to extend jobless benefits for an estimated 325,000 people, fund summer jobs for at-risk youth, or help newly laid-off people pay for health care. Quote, "These are really pressing things, and we want Congress to stay, but it falls on deaf ears," said Judy Conti of the National Employment Law Project. That's an advocacy group. Funding for extended unemployment benefits ran out June 2nd, while Congress was in the middle of a 10-day Memorial Day, 10 days off. The House of Representatives had continued to vote to continue those benefits. Well, as I said, it's not his health bill, it's not his immigration reform, it's not global warming, so forget about it. Representative Barney Frank, all righty. A panel commissioned by Representative Barney Frank, Democrat, Massachusetts, is recommending nearly $1 trillion in cuts to the Pentagon's budget over the next 10 years. The Sustainable Defense Task Force, a commission of scholars from a broad ideological spectrum appointed by Frank, the House Financial Services Committee chairman, laid out options the government could take that could save as much as $960 billion between 2011 and 2020. But you know why, right? Measures presented by the task force include significant reductions to the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program, which, by the way, has very strong support from the Defense Secretary, Robert Gates. But it's only the military, Barney, so let's take out $1 trillion of their funds. The Peruvian police say Joran van der Sloot has told them that he knows where Natalie Holloway's body is, but he'll describe the location.